head has resigned. He said he has some medical condition. I said you will have medical condition when everybody's angry at you, because we also hear that the U.S. Was it the U.S. Senate now? They're investigating the measure.
This is interesting.
Once there's Saudi involved, everybody is going to politicize something. Anyway, so yes, so there's an investigation going on to see that why was everybody suddenly silent? What's going to happen to what? Why don't we have all these details? So that investigation plus the anger of the players has caused a medical condition called cowardice. And the guy has stepped back, so
wow.
That's updates on that. We'll get more updates as the case unravels. Then we heard the sad one about Tori Bowie. It was preeclampsia. She was 8 months pregnant and she died from those complications. So at least it gives us an understanding as to her death, because we just heard she was dead and a lot of people were guessing things about depression and that. Turns out it was maternal, what they call it when people die,
maternal mortality,
with that's associated with childbirth, and some people now started bringing up that Black women case again and how people don't pay attention to all of these things.
That's a concern.
And that's a concern too, yeah. So really sad one, but yeah. Apart from that, other news in camp, Super Eagles are down. Be nice to them.
Go Eagles, go
Eagles,
go,
pray
go,
for them.
go.
Hopefully we'll be able to beat Sierra Leone. And then we'll also talk about, what happened with the NBA, who won the NBA, how they won the NBA. We'll also be talking about the UEFA Nations League, because yes, there are 4 nations vying for that trophy that they are forced on us. Unfortunately, it's football. Italy is involved, Spain is involved, the Dutch are involved, Croatia are involved. Those are 4 good footballing nations. So even if you may not be excited about the tournament, you're definitely excited about the football. So we'll be talking about that on the show. But before we do that, Zibby, tell us, how can we be a part of the locker room?
It's easy. WhatsApp number is 0809 4440981. You can also tweet at Smooth981. And we're streaming live on YouTube. Hey, YouTube, just search for Smooth981 and you can see Tega, the nice bun, sitting pretty at the top of her head. Yes. So just search for Smooth981 and you can catch the live stream, post a comment on there as well.
All right. So let's start with the headlines.
Okay. NBA, Denver Nuggets beat Miami Heat to claim the first NBA title. Kyrgios vents over towels, pleads for patience after losing on return. Wow. Why I did not call Urban Boniface and Chuba Akpom to the Super Eagles squad? And this is from Jose Pesero.
All right.
Brazil to play Spain at Santiago Bernabeu in anti-racism campaign.
Yeah.
Mbappe tells PSG he will not renew contract in 2024. Italy Nations League clash key for Spain coach De La Fuente. Croatia coach severs Nations League finals. 3 protesters included on Spain's Women's World Cup squad list.
Yeah, so now we don't know. I wanted to ask, but I don't want to look for trouble. But at this point, is Spain a racist country or a sexist country? Because they seem to be having problems both ways. But we'll talk about that story when we get to it. But first of all, let's go to America.
All right, the Denver Nuggets clinched their first NBA title as a 94-89 win over the Miami Heat sealed a 4-1 series triumph.
All right, so huge one. But if you have, by now you should know, the Nuggets eventually won the NBA championship. Fantastic win. I was emotional, because I remember one of my favorite young players, Jamal Murray, in the 2020 season, and he really balled in the bubble. And after that, he tore his ACL and he was out for an entire season. People were saying, oh, bubble basketball was not real basketball. If you won the championship in the bubble, you didn't really win the championship. If you played very well in the championship, you didn't really play. People were even questioning him. At some point, he was so mad on social media. He was like, do you think I do not want to play? I mean, I really want to play basketball. I just can't because I had an ACL injury. But so I was glad to see him come back to his best and then win the championship. So that was beautiful to watch. He was thanking the team for keeping him and not trading him through his struggles. That was emotional for me. And I was very happy because I really wanted him to win it. Then, I saw one of the most passive winners I've ever seen of anything. So Nikola Jokic, From the minute he won, he was just like, okay, we've won the championship. Okay, that's all right. Everybody was excited. He was not as excited about the
Is
championship
it that he
as
doesn't have personality, or he's just a?
he does. Oh, he does. This guy plays around, behind the scenes. If you follow them in the locker room with
Mm.
his relationship with the other guys, you see that he's a fun guy. He just was happier to see his family than he was to see,
To win.
to win.
Oh.
Because he was happier to be carried by his brothers. He was happier to carry his daughter. He was happier to hug his wife. But anything he asked me about the championship, it was almost like, people, I want to go home. I don't. Why are we throwing flowers and why are we doing all these unnecessary interviews? He's just not. He didn't look like he was it. Now, there's different people react to victories or sorrows different ways. He's probably like me. I'm the first person in my house that they call when they have bad news. Because they always say that Tega doesn't react to, and it's true. It doesn't usually register me, so I'm usually the best person to give. So if an
Mm.
uncle dies, an auntie dies, somebody dies, they call Tega first.
Wow.
We say,
So you
Tega.
now have to disperse the news.
It's after I've dispersed it, it's like 2 days later, I'm like, oh my God. But initially, I'm the calm. So maybe he's that kind of guy that he doesn't realize it immediately. So I'm guessing, but he didn't look the most excited. Even when they're talking to him about parade, he was like, "No, I want to just go home. Let's just shut this thing down and go home." Yeah, but fantastic season for him, and everybody almost started questioning Joel Embiid's regular season MVP, which was sad because Joel Embiid is a fantastic bowler. Unfortunately, his team didn't make it all the way, but great one for Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. Their first title as a team took them 47 years. And I just want to say, now, regardless of any sports that happens, Arsenal is always catching its up. Because somehow
Wait, what?
the owners of Arsenal are the owners of Denver Nuggets.
Oh.
And he's still the owner of LA Rams. So the LA Rams also won the Super Bowl a couple of years back.
Oh.
And then Denver Nuggets have won the championship.
Aww.
And now Arsenal is the only, according to somebody, is the only stain on Cronke's white. So Arsenal, regardless of what it is,
stray bullets.
stray bullets must hit you. So maybe the owners will come and bring the magic dust. Maybe they have not sprinkled the magic dust yet at the Emirates. Because if they've done it with LA Rams and they've done it with the Nuggets, he will bring it. He will bring the magic dust to Arsenal. Let's just wait. Maybe another 47 years. Who knows? All right, next story.
Wow. All right, Nick Kyrgios got upset over a lack of white towels and later pleaded for patience following a straight set defeat in Stuttgart to Wu Yibing on his return to tennis.
All right, so I would say this. Once the grass season starts, all of them come out. All the crazies, the happies, the annoying, the pleasing, they come out because some people like to avoid the clay season. Not a lot of people like the fact that the court is slow or that there's dirt, so they avoid it. Nick Kyrgios was one of those people. He just timed his surgery somewhere between hard court and grass that he has enough recovery period, and so he comes back from his knee surgery on this grass court, and Nick Kyrgios is actually a fantastic tennis player. He just has, you know, character issues. That's where his problem is. So he comes back and he's complaining about the color of the towel. So it's not like they didn't give him towel. It's that they didn't give him white towels. I'm like, JLo, can you calm down and just play this tennis? You're only here for a couple of hours. But yeah, he was always going to be rusty. He was always going to struggle. Unfortunately, he took it out on the towels. He took it out on the tournament. He took it out on the grass.
No one was safe. No one and nothing.
Yeah, everybody was just like, oh, Nick Kyrgios is back. And that's exactly what the umpire was doing. But he comes back and he loses. But he's going to take a while. The good news is that there are other tournaments that he can play in to get him ready for Wimbledon, because we know that that's the ultimate for him. But yes, this was not a good showing. And it was not good personality. So yes, he apologized for that. Yeah, but it was always going to take time for him to come back into the swing of things. And that person that also came back was Venus Williams. She's 42, by the way.
Yes, go Venus.
42. And she got on court to play a teenager. It went all the way to 3 sets. Unfortunately, teenage exuberance outlasted her. And so she lost the third set because she really did have the lead. Especially in the final set, looking like she was going to win it. then the teenager came with her burst of energy. And I think Venus's tank was just empty.
Oh. But I
So,
like that she's still fighting.
yeah, I like that. Look, at this point, I might tell people she's just playing her what she's just playing, and as long as she's Venus Williams, she's done enough to get all the wild cards in the world. So if I were a young tennis player and I was going to a tournament and I said I wanted a wild card, and Venus says she wants a wild card, trust me, she getting one. You don't win all those grand slams to not get a wild card. So it was good to see her back on court. It's good to see her moving, but yeah, it was a struggle towards the end. You could tell that she was running on empty. So those are the two comebacks that flopped. Andy Murray is still doing very well on grass. We'll wait to see how he'll perform in Wimbledon.
Okay, let's know what your thoughts are. 0809 440 981. Now, Super Eagles head coach Jose Pesero has provided detailed insight into his decision to exclude Gift Urban, Victor Boniface, and Chuba Akpom from the Nigerian national squad, and this squad is set to face Sierra Leone.
Yes, so and this is where we want to see your thoughts or want to hear your thoughts. So if you can't, send your messages to WhatsApp on
0809 440 981
or give us a phone call on
014489
All right, so let's talk about this. He was saying that, if I could invite 5 strikers, then I'd invite either one of those guys. But because I cannot invite 5 strikers, so those guys are left off. And I think the question some people will be asking would be, the strikers that you invited, what did they do for their club sides? Because again, people asking that, you still invited Ahmed Musa, and he said, yes, Ahmed Musa is not a striker, he's a winger. We're like, okay, it's not lying per se. You understand? Per se. But it depends on what formation you are using.
Right.
So again, when you look at the list he's brought in, are you afraid to make changes? Because you obviously there's some struggles with some of your strikers. Again, you have to look at your list and think, couldn't maybe some of this new blood can bring in a little bit of versatility or bring in a little bit of change that the Super Eagles need to see? Because the problem is that the Super Eagles are really stagnant in their performances. We see them, they go to their football clubs and they do well, and they come here and they're stagnant. So there's something wrong. Gift Urban, Chubapom, these guys, Boniface, they had a great season for club sides. They are young, they are hungry, they are looking to impress, and you can't be keeping, especially for national team, you can't be keeping anybody's positions. So we're going to open the phone lines now. You tell me, if you had the opportunity to tweak Jose Pesero's list, who would you drop and who would you bring in from these 3 guys? Boniface, Gift Urban, and we'll do this after the break because there's a break now. Boniface, Gift Urban, and Chubapom. Who would you drop from the current list of the Super Eagles, and who would you bring in? We'll be taking those phone calls only after this break.
I like the way you say only after like Steven Spielberg. Oh my days!
Please. Yeah, we'll listen to them after the break.
Okay.
What does future forward banking mean?
I just noticed that I was going far.
Okay. I can bet one name that people would love to drop.
Or just simply getting
Not from the 3, of course. Those 3 are already dropped. Probably Ahmed Musa.
Yeah, I think he's first. I also drop on Watch. I'm just like, what's he playing?
Oh wow!
Even Chukwueze will not be making my list. I
I
know
thought Chikwueze was decent.
No, he has a great season. He just, I don't know, he's struggling with it. He's struggling in the Super Eagles. He struggles. Have I pressed spoil?
No, go off.
I don't know how to press it.
No, you scroll. See?
To switch to a future forward banking experience. Providence Bank.
Okay.
Future.
You want to see the top message, yeah?
Yeah, so we'll start from there.
Okay. Silence something else.
Yeah, we'll start from.
Then we end up with a draw. He has already prophesied a non-win. But is this like a qualifier for anything?
For the AFCON next year.
This Spanish man, a bit Portuguese man. Where is he
Portuguese.
from? Portuguese, okay.
And it's very important, because you have new exciting players. You're not bringing people that didn't even play You can count how many
Exactly.
matches they play for their
Where does
club.
Ahmed actually play right now?
Your uncle says.
Sorry?
I don't know. Sorry, I had to speak a foreign language. Some things are foreign to me.
What language is it?
Oh goodness. Tega.
Oh my days. Okay, that's Tega. Oh my goodness.
Don't mind me. I have it in my body. I'm just like, what are you talking about? You have to invite the people that you have invited. Can't you drop some? We've seen what they can do now.
Because at this point,
Do you
is it
understand?
about soothing and massaging anyone's
Do you
ego?
understand? Why are you sticking with a known formula that is not working? when you can
Exactly,
try
and you're
something
expecting
new?
a different
You're the top
result.
of the group. Oh no.
Now what?
So I won't be trying with him. So yes, we'll be taking those phone calls. So make sure you call us and make sure you send your messages.
Yes, 0144899881. Who you dropping and who you picking?
I'll be back.
You're inside the locker room on Smooth 98.1 832. It's Tega and Zibby here. We're talking about sports and Super Eagles right now.
Exactly. They are in town. Full, I think 22 players, but Jose Pesero has refused to make changes, regardless of the Nigerians that are performing outside.
Wow.
So, if you had the choice to be the technical committee that would just pull the rug from under his feet and make some changes, who would you be taking and who would you be dropping? Send your messages on WhatsApp to
0809 4440981. Okay, you know what? Let's read this message from Tayo. Tayo says, Pesero ignoring high flyers in Europe for the evergreen Ahmed Musa. Then we end up with a draw. I love this game.
I'm telling you. And that's the prediction. Just like, I know you're at the top of the group. I know Ahmed Musa seems like the fall guy, but again, when you cannot, based on performance, recent performance, make
Recent,
a case, keyword, make a case for, because the national team is not a reward system. No, we cannot reward you for your faithfulness. Yes, we can maybe give you house, but we cannot be rewarding you with
promise to give you house.
promise to give you house and give you 20 years of time. That's not the issue. But we cannot be keeping a spot for you consistently on the bench in the national team when you have people that are doing well, young people that are coming through the ranks. So what's the point of getting people to school if you're not going to employ them? I think you just touch education bill now. Let's move on to what Cruz has to say.
All right, Cruz says, Zibby with the bars, Tega with the shades. If you're not in the locker room, you're snoozing.
You have
Live stream.
You have to come up with some changes, and he hasn't. So we're waiting to see if you were Jose Pesero, who would you invite and who would you drop, especially knowing Boniface, Gift Urban, and Chuba Akpom. All right, so while we wait on those phone calls and those messages, let's take some.
Okay,
more.
I'm just going to give you the phone number again. 0144899881.
All right.
Brazil will play a friendly match against Spain at the Bernabeu in March next year, and this is part of an anti-racism campaign in support of Vinicius Jr., the Real Madrid forward, who has consistently suffered racial abuse and discrimination, which is now affecting his mental health. Okay, I just added that bit, but possibly it's good.
Yeah, it helps sell it. But it's interesting, it's Spain playing against Brazil. It's like dogs and lion involved in an anti-biting campaign. I don't understand what's happening here. What are we doing?
Tega, what kind of analogy is that?
Let's just invite Italy and Argentina. Make it a four nation anti-racism campaign. What absolute nonsense. So again, I would say this too. It's see, these people are really, they know how to take the mickey. I that's all I can say. And as you grow older, you just understand that this world is really, there's a reason slavery sold for so long. So let's not even talk too much. I would say this though. Let me not try to put a stain on whatever it is they're trying to do, but I want to play football for anti-racism. You know what? Don't play this match. Just punish the people that way. That's what we'll just punish the people that are involved in racism. How about that player that insulted the Valencia guy? Why have we not had any updates from this? Those are things that are real anti-racism campaign.
Right.
We know it's a societal problem, and so you cannot stop it or sorry, you may not be able to stop it in society, but inside your stadium and in your league, you can curb it. And so I don't. Again, I would just say this thing: these people know how to cash out from every situation, you know. So they found a way. They're going to play this match at the Bernabeu, and it is Brazil versus Spain. So big name players and big, which means big sponsors, which means large crowd.
Wait, so they are profiting off this racism?
What are you? Everything is a market.
Oh
We
my
sell
goodness.
it.
Oh my
So you
goodness.
can argue what you want to. Oh, they're going to give the money to more fight against. Are you giving the money to Tega? If you're not giving the money to me, you're not giving it to charity. My
Wow.
name is charity.
Wow.
So it's tricky. I understand they're going. This is part of, and this is why I say a lot of people do a lot of things for PR as opposed to the real issue. So instead of fighting the real issue, you start trying to create a better image for yourself. And so I think that's what this football is. So it's hilarious for me. And maybe they have a completely different thing in mind. You know, they're trying to do, but again, Vinicius Jr. was abused, and somebody thought of a brilliant idea
Jeez.
to capitalize on this.
I wonder which Brazilian players would be involved in this. Will Vinicius be part of that game? He better not be.
They'll probably be, half their players are either black or a mix. So they'll probably,
that sort of makes a mockery of the problem because it doesn't really address.
Yeah,
it,
they'll
does
probably
it?
tell them that they should come. That is for, you know how it is. They'll tell you to come out. You know how student union government used to tell us to come and march for things that we never really benefited from.
Oh wow.
Then when it was time to settle, student union president will go and settle with the school, collect all they're collecting, and all you have is carryover because you didn't read for the exam, and only you woke up the next morning and saw that they've set exam.
Oh, wow.
So it's crazy. So at the end of the day, of course, the people that may come out, the players may come out to say, "Oh, we're really playing against racism," but trust me, the people that are balling off this are balling off it.
Wow. Can we look at some messages?
Let's look at some messages. Let's start with
Chris.
Is it Chris? Okay, so
Yeah.
Chris.
Chris says, I think call-ups for the national team should be strictly on form, not before performance.
I'm telling you. This is Mohammed. He says,
Nuggets made my day winning the NBA Finals, although I don't like the Arsenal owners, but anything is better than 8-seed Heat that beat my team, the Boston Celtics.
oh, Mohammed, I see where you're going with that. The entire says,
This Spain-Brazil match is not, in my opinion, So when is Ukraine going to play against Russia?
you know,
They play. Oh, wow.
against, no, it's Russia and
Belarus.
no, Russia and I'm not mentioning their name because I want to call it this out. But Russia, Russia and them, they should play against anti-invasion campaign. All right.
Tell me about it. Boston, who's in traffic, says, are they giving the money to him? But he's giving Vinicius Jr. Probably not.
Definitely
We'll
not.
racially discriminate against you. We'll bash you publicly, and then we'll make some money off you as well.
Yeah. How can we give the money to you? You're already rich. All right.
All right, let's move on to the next story. Kylian Mbappe has told PSG that he will not take up the option of a one-year extension in his contract when it expires next June. Now, the French forward has added that the club had been notified of his decision since last year.
All right, so this is one tale I'm tired about. Every time I hear, I just want to pull out my hair. It doesn't make it easy that my hair can easily pull out because it's now short. But that's not the issue for today. How, this guy, I'm done with him. So what it means is that if he's saying he's not renewing his contract in 2024, it means they have to sell him now if they're going to profit off of him. Because if they wait till the end of his contract, he's leaving for free. And how can one of the most valuable players in the world, live for free, especially after all the money they've put in him, or put into his career? So it's a tricky one for PSG. So now PSG is going to have to do the work that they didn't want to do, which is build the team from the back to front, as opposed to just buying one or two big names and hoping that the pretty wig will make the girl win the most beautiful girl in the world. Yeah. So that's what they're going to have to do. But the boy is so annoying because 1 minute he's like, I'm done with PSG, I'm leaving. Then they offer him more money, and then he's like, you know what, PSG for life. Then the next minute he's like, Real Madrid, really, call me, I want you. Then PSG is like, I want to give you the keys to this. He's like, Real Madrid, you know what, I don't want you that much. And he oscillates worse than my hormones, at that time of the month. He's a horrible person. So he's at this point. I don't know. I don't want to throw tantrums about him. I don't want to, but he's such big news that you cannot help but talk about him. Because if he leaves, it's a major shift. Imagine Mbappe at Real Madrid. It
Mm.
makes the team, especially with Benzema gone, it makes the team astronomically good. Imagine he moves to Barcelona. Lewandowski is there, but trust me, he's a better catch every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Um, Imagine that he moves to Manchester United. That's Mbappe versus Haaland. The Premier League has hit a jackpot. Everybody be watching those
That's true.
matches. Yeah. So his move will make a shift in the football world, but his tantrums are just too much. At this point in time, I just want to lock him up in the room and shut him up till he decides. So we're going to have to wait now till we see somebody that wants to buy him. Unfortunately, we've been caught in the whirlwind of Mbappe.
All right, Spain coach Luis de la Fuente faces a key moment earlier on in his reign when his side will take on Italy in the Nations League semi-final this Thursday in some place that is too difficult to pronounce.
So yes, the UEFA Nations League is happening this Thursday. Spain versus Italy, Croatia versus the Dutch, and it's taking place in Holland. Yeah, so no need to.
Yeah.
So those great semifinals go both great matchups. For the Spanish team though, it's really a tough one for him. So De La Fuente comes into the job. He defeats Norway, even if Norway didn't have Erling Haaland playing that game by 3 goals to nil. But he loses to Scotland. And so everybody's just like, how are we losing to Scotland with all the players that we have, with this kind of team that we have in the form that they're in? So there is that. So he's one leg in and one leg out right now. People are already questioning the choice to pick him as national team coach, and then his results haven't delivered. Now it's only 2 matches in, but this is 2023. Nobody has time anymore. You can get your package from the UK in a couple of hours. Why can't you win your match with world class players in a few matches? So that's all they are going to take. Everybody wants everything now. That's where we are at. So nobody's going to give you time to get your feet. You have to hit the ground running. So unfortunately, he has that on his back. The good news for him is that he's playing against an Italian side that didn't even qualify for the World Cup after winning the Euros. It's an Italian side that is struggling. So I will call that the battle of the strugglers. And then the other side is the battle of the hopefuls, because Croatia has been here several times. Unfortunately, they've been the bridesmaid, never the bride. And the Dutch are just trying to come back into football after trying to prove that they are not just a popular name, but they can also win trophies. So I call that the battle of the wannabes. So the wannabes are taking on the strugglers. Let's see who will end up winning the UEFA Nations League. And so let's just, on that note, we're going to wrap up the locker room. But before we do that, let's wrap up with your messages.
All right. Cruz says Nigerian sports ministry needs to learn from the Spanish football authorities. I'm not encouraging bad behavior, but when it comes to generating revenue, these guys got some wicked sense.
I'm telling you, wicked sense of humor.
Taya says PSG director of football and admin Mbappe wants to resign. I laugh in French. That's what you get when you bow to a prima donna player. I want to see how the next club would handle him. Man, that ego is bigger than him. Ibukun says, leave Mbappe alone, or he's only taking your advice to follow the money. Life of a footballer, especially strikers, is short. The tantrums are marketing strategies.
Okay, I like that.
Chimobi Victor says, so Kylian Mbappe just woke up to reality, but one thing is certain, he won't move to MLS or Saudi Arabia. I see him going to Real Madrid or Manchester City. Even Tega will agree with me.
Manchester City. With Haaland there, I think he'll be... No, he'll look for a place where he can dominate. So if he's going to Manchester, it better be the red side of Manchester.
Oh.
All right, and that's it. That's all we can take in the locker room for now. Let's hand over the microphone back to Zibby.
All right, stay with us. There's a lot more to come. Lagos Talk starts in about 14 minutes from 9 a.m. right here on the Smooth Breakfast.
All right.
Oh boy. I'm back.